Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the number one source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, fine folks. This is Freedom Fighter, and today is Wednesday, August the 28th, 2024. I am your host of Goldilocks Global Banking News, your number one source for RVGCR facts directly from the sources responsible for the RVGCR. Over 100 countries are subscribed to this channel, including Iraq, Vietnam, India, Brazil, and many other countries. I had my morning briefing with Goldilocks, and the information today is jam-packed, folks. I mean, amazing. We're going to talk about the Farm Bill. I'm sure many of you have heard about that. We're going to dispel some myths and give you the actual facts. Then we're going to talk about briefly as well, coming from Homeland Security and the Department of Treasury, about the rural areas in our country completing their onboarding onto the QFS. And then also, last but not least, we're going to touch on how Iraq, Vietnam, and all currencies around the world will move through the new quantum financial system and what is happening lately and how it's developing. All right, folks, let's jump right into it. The Farm Bill in Broadband Technical Assistance Program announcement. This is bigger than you might realize, but this touches on the Farm Bill. 2 days ago, Goldilocks shares, 2 days ago, I was looking through an article to look up something on the Federal Register. The article was about the Broadband Technical Assistance Program designed to give liquidity to rural areas of the country for those who would apply. The application period ended on August the 20th, 2024, so now the processing of these applications begin across the country. The purpose was to give an equal opportunity for banks and other companies assistance in bringing broadband capacities to their computer programs in the rural communities. Goldilocks shared this several months ago where the actual banks did the same thing with expanding the broadband capabilities in rural areas so that people in rural areas would not be left behind in the upgrades of the quantum financial system. Goldilocks continues. I couldn't help from notice that this went through the USDA's, which is the United States Department of Agriculture's Department of Agricultural Rural Utility Services. Then Goldilocks says, then I began thinking this could really help leveling the playing field inside some of the rural areas inside our new digital banking system. So what Goldilocks is saying is that they realize this will help level the playing field in the rural areas inside the QFS. Come to find out, Goldilocks says, it was a roundabout way to access money to get the job done through the Farm Bill. Several months ago, we mentioned pork barrel projects. This is all tied into how the government gets things done. Here's what I found. The Farm Bill gives the Department of Agriculture the authority to carry out its mission to help rural America, creating jobs and providing a safety net for the people in need. This solves two problems with one action for our infrastructure and our digital banking needs. So this is two actions that solve one problem for the QFS. The last I read on the Farm Bill website just yesterday was the following. There is a pathway forward to passing this bill, and it is about to go in front of Congress for a vote. The Farm Bill has been extended until September 2024. If this goes through, we will have liquidity, cash flow, money for the rural areas of our banking system to connect to the QFS and commodity sector. Food, we're thinking of agriculture, falls under the commodity sector, ladies and gentlemen. And this provides such and much needed infrastructure for our country. You can see here the interlinking. Of course, major cities where major access has already been covered. Now we have the rural areas that are being covered from the banking industry several months ago, and now money to go through the Farm Bill covered under agriculture and food under commodities in the QFS. Remember, not only paper currencies, digital currencies, and precious metals are commodities, also agriculture is commodities. For those who have been following the debt clock, you've seen wheat, corn, and other commodities, agricultural commodities, which also, folks, believe it or not, agriculture will back our currencies around the world. Every country's currency. Why? From agriculture. Then Goldilocks shares a PDF document. We're going to include it into the description and the Federal Register link showing where this will become law. So Goldilocks has been sharing a lot from the Federal Register lately. Why? Because new rules and regulations for taxes that will be recorded in the Federal Register. Currency exchange, new currency exchange rules and regulations will be recorded in the Federal Register. Now, to cover our rural areas in our country, to make sure they're connected with the banking system and agriculture is live and well in the QFS, registered with the Federal Register. Now, Goldilocks continues. The Broadband Technical Assistance Program for the Department of Agriculture provides financial assistance to private sector entities, including small businesses, to receive or deliver broadband technical assistance and training. Think of the farmers in these rural areas. Other eligible applicants include federal recognized tribes and tribal entities. What about Native Americans? Where do they normally live? Rural areas. Think of state or local governments, of course. Territories or possessions within the United States. Educational institutions, nonprofits, public utility entities. To be eligible for funding assistance, the proposed project must promote the expansion of broadband services into eligible rural areas. Folks, this is to not leave anyone behind. No one will be left behind in the QFS. And this is to make sure our family, friends, and neighbors in our rural areas are not left behind in the quantum financial system. All applicants must demonstrate the capacity to deliver or support broadband technical assistance activities. And then here we have the Federal Register, the Department of Agriculture links that Goldilocks is sharing. Folks, when you have the Department of Agriculture making sure this is connected to the Farm Bill, making sure that our rural areas are connected to the banking system, you can see how they are bringing everything into the fold for the quantum financial system. Then Goldilocks shares enforcement of copyrights and the Digital Millennium Copyright Act announcement. Department of Homeland Security U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Department of the Treasury. Homeland Security, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Department of the Treasury. Folks, when you think of U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the borders and the ports within the United States, crossing the borders within the United States. We've shared in our room, Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, just yesterday and several months ago, how Iraq is digitizing their customs imports under the umbrella of the United Nations and many countries around the world. So here we have, within the United States, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency, Homeland Security, and Department of Treasury have announced a final rule. What is the final rule? It is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It's a 1998 United States copyright law that implements two 1996 treaties of the World Intellectual Property Organization. What does it do? It criminalizes production and dissemination of technology, devices, or services intended to circumvent measures that control access to copyrighted works, commonly known as the digital rights management. It also criminalizes the act of circumventing and access control, whether or not there is an actual infringement of copyright itself. What does this have to do with the RV, you ask? Folks, this is the interlinking of copyright law onto the quantum financial system to make sure anyone that is doing business with, as an individual as well, onto the quantum financial system, there are rights that will protect you as an entity for being copyrighted so that no one can access your information. Imagine you have a bank account. Imagine you got a business account that you've created once you've had some sort of humanitarian project, and it's on the quantum financial system, and someone access that information to duplicate your information. These copyright laws will protect you. This is part of the digital rights management of goods and services, including new technologies that come across our borders in trade. This protection is put into place to keep control of those infringing upon copyright laws and to give guidance on the regulations governing trade. So this is also to protect the governments and entities and businesses conducting trade around the world on the quantum financial system to assure no one's information is taken and copywritten. This final rule went into effect on August the 23rd. It will protect our trade between countries we engage in exchanging goods and services going forward. Just imagine we're exchanging goods and services as a country with many nations around the world where our currencies are utilized for trade on the quantum financial system. Just imagine the protection that is needed in the quantum financial system to protect the trades of goods and services on the new digital platform within the quantum financial system. Everything is going to be tracked, and also to protect the goods and services in the trade is connected to our currencies. How? Because it is our currencies, ladies and gentlemen, local currencies, dinar, dong, bolivar, all around the world, that will be trading on the quantum financial system. And those trades, supply and demand, is what provides value, the increased value on our currencies. What we have here is the protection, the digital rights of copyrights to protect the governments and businesses as they trade amongst each other around the world. Our currencies will be on this platform in a digital format. So now we see the protection of such digital platforms being interlinked into the quantum financial system with the laws, the final rules and regulations implemented, and of course, recorded in the Federal Register. Folks, this is amazing. And then Goldilocks shares, which is breaking news from BlackRock and JP Morgan Chase. They make a massive move into XRP with over 7.5 million tokens. XRP tokens. This shift in the crypto landscape is not to be underestimated. JP Morgan's substantial holdings in XRP is a noteworthy revelation. What makes this move so important, Goldilocks says, is that Ripple is the coin that will move trade and money around the world in just seconds inside our new digital banking system, which is the quantum financial system. What will move the dinar across borders? What will move the dong across borders? What will move the dong, the dinar, and every currency in the quantum financial system across borders, in through the digital banking system? What will move these currencies in a digital format into the banking system to allow our exchanges to perform and to be completed? What will be utilized? What technology will be utilized in order to secure our exchanges and our transactions? It is Ripple. It is XRP tokens. This is the means that will allow it to happen. So Goldilocks continues. Everything we talked about today has something to do with the movement of money, the movement of cryptocurrencies, the movement of dong, the movement of dinar, the movement of bolivar, the movement of rupiah, the movement of dirham. And Ripple will be the digital coin that makes this possible. So this amazing breaking news by JP Morgan and BlackRock is to not be overlooked. Goldilocks finalizes by saying, I realize I have given everyone a lot of information the past 3.5 years, but I have done so to give you information on what is going on behind the scenes in the banking system and the GCR. It is a process happening, folks, that you are looking for in currency exchanges. Again, it is a process happening, folks, what you are looking for in currency exchanges. And now you can realize this is more than just simply talk. It is a fact. Folks, we are blessed. Stay upright, stay kind, stay in unconditional love. Be well, be on purpose. Ciao. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.